So, welcome back. Welcome back, Andy and Scott. And I'm Oscar, obviously. So we haven't released him yet, but he's getting close. He's earning his living, and I reckon a couple more videos we may let him go.
Yeah.
So he's going to make us another cocktail from his brilliant book that we swear by. Love it. It's going to be a Smokey Whisky Sour.
It is. Now, in home bar, I'm very keen to try and get people to try using spirits that maybe they don't use all the time. Whiskey, I don't tend to drink on its own on the rocks or anything like that, but I think it is a fantastic cocktail ingredient. And I fell in love with whiskey sours in Dublin when I had maybe a few too many of them. But I'll tell you about that as I'm fixing this drink. So what we're going to do is we're going to use whiskey. We are going to use lemon juice. And normally you would use a sugar syrup, but I have a smoky version of a sugar syrup, which is perfect for barbecue season. It's perfect for when you have flame grilled food. Think ribs, think char grilled asparagus, peppers, roasted vegetables on the barbecue. We're going to use that.
So you can spread it on top of that and barbecue.
You can use it as a marinade and you can use it in your drink.
Wow.
So it's a really good idea.
Wow.
It smells right.
That's the first time I've smelt that.
So
I tell you what, you put that is, and that's proper syrupy.
That's really smoky.
Yeah,
How did you do that?
It's runny honey, smoked paprika, and chili flakes, boiled up with a bit of water, infused, and then bottled. Okay.
I'm wafting it off to you guys because there's a real smokiness to it. You've got to smell it. There you go.
So smoky.
Now,
and that's in your book.
It's in the book. The syrup recipe is in the book because I have a syrup section, and that goes beautifully with a good quality whiskey or bourbon. Because actually, whiskey sours are traditionally made with bourbon a lot of the time, but I love using Irish whiskey because it reminds me of my time in Dublin having too many of them.
And we have a good Irish whiskey here.
Tell us about Green Spot.
So Green Spot is an Irish whiskey, and we're new to whiskey. Oscar doesn't normally like kind of dark spirits, but we recently went on a kind of whiskey tasting experience, and we realised it wasn't the fact that we didn't like whiskey, we just didn't like cheap, nasty whiskey.
And use good ingredients in your cocktails. Yeah.
And the fact is that Oscar is Irish. Oscar is from Donegal, so we've used
county.
Yeah, we've used the most beautiful county. I mean, it's fantastic. It's so picturesque. So we're using an Irish whiskey here today.
From Cork, this one?
From Cork.
County Cork.
County Cork.
My husband, who is from Dublin, he took me down to West Cork, where he used to go on holidays as a kid. We went down to Schull, Skibbereen, Mizen Head, the most sort of southwesterly part of Ireland. Beautiful. And I just love their produce, their food and drink that they make. It's incredible, that, and I'm really pleased to be using
a lot of
this.
We found it with gins. Now hopefully we're going to find this with whiskies. There's a lot more full-bodiedness to it.
Yeah. This is robust. This is a robust whiskey, isn't it? So what we're using 4 parts of the whiskey. We are using 2 parts of the lemon juice, and we're using 1 part of the honey syrup. Now you'll notice that I haven't put ice in here because we're going to put egg white in here for texture. And egg white is better to be shaken without ice to start off with because it allows it to froth up and expand.
So it gives it that silkiness.
Yeah, it gives it the texture, the beautiful silkiness. We'll do that, and then we'll add the ice afterwards. So
we've got to be careful it doesn't froth up too much.
We have had experience of the frothage.
Of explosion.
Oh, he says, look, it literally tries to push the top.
Wow.
Can you see? There's almost like an effervescence. So it tries to push it off, which is why it's creating.
That is amazing.
Texture.
You can probably feel it in there trying to explode.
It smelled good. When I lifted that up, could you smell
I
it?
didn't get to smell it. I was too busy laughing.
Oh my goodness.
I was waiting for it to.
Yeah, hang on. There we go. So there's the froth. I don't know if you can see that on camera.
Well, you're trying to defy gravity as well.
As it goes all over. Camera op will not be happy with me. So now we can add the ice because
which now cools it down, but you've already got that kind of frothiness in there. Yeah.
It looks like a good lager, doesn't
it?
It there with
that.
And actually, while I'm going to shake, could you put some ice in these glasses?
I can indeed.
We used our lovely pumpkin pouch, the lemon juice pouch there, which is great. So now I'm going to put this back on and do the proper shake with the noise. That was a bit. It's unimpressive without the noise of the ice, isn't it? So it's nice.
But you know what? It doesn't matter as long as what is coming out is perfect.
Exactly.
That's it. And you don't need to use a shaker. You can use a protein shake, and you can use, you can use a jam jar.
Jam jar.
That's it.
You could stir this, and also you don't have to use the egg white like we've said before. You can use aquafaba, which is the water from chickpeas.
Chickpeas.
Or if you don't want it, this is purely for texture, which I quite like that velvety texture. But you don't have to use anything. You could just have the whiskey, the syrup, and the lemon juice and ice, and that's it. You don't have to have anything.
I mean, I've often been to cocktail bars where it says egg white, and I'm put off by kind of having it.
I get that.
But since having you here, locked in our house, in our
for
gin room,
decades, it feels like.
It's opened my kind of like, it's opened my mind to kind of tasting it now and going, right, okay, egg white is used for a reason, and it's not eggy.
No, it's not for flavour, and that's where I think it needs to be. When it's on an ingredients list in a cocktail bar, when people get egg white, they think, ooh, is it going to taste like an omelette?
Yeah,
No,
exactly.
it's not there, and it needs to almost say, not there for flavour, there for texture. Now you can see a few little chili flakes
I've seen
coming
them.
out, so it's like an instant little garnish.
Little bit of spice there.
Yeah. So, and then what I've got here, retro, the smell and the flavour of orange and cherry work beautifully with the smokiness of the whiskey.
That looks gorgeous as well.
Actually, do you know what I'm going to do? Look at that. Properly
Look
retro.
at that. It's as if it was nearly made for that.
There we go. What's going in?
I was going to say, looking at that, you're near to release, but you dropped it in, so it's like, no, more videos.
That's another video.
Yeah, there you go.
So there we are. I was balancing it on the side, but I failed. But that looks quite kitsch. It looks
does.
like a
Very,
80s Christmas day.
It does.
Doesn't it?
It does indeed.
Would you like to hand that one?
I'll hand that one over to the camera operative. There we go. Look, camera operative. There we are.
But smell. So imagine we are outside, because actually, not being funny, Father's Day coming up.
It is.
Father's Day barbecues, Father's Day. Use whiskey as a cocktail ingredient. It's a really, really good one.
Great drink with a barbecue, a whiskey.
Smell
and great for dads. A lot of dads like whiskey as well.
Exactly. And a lot of dads have a lot of whiskies that they don't know what to do with.
Oh,
cheers!
sorry, I was about to drink it then.
I know.
Sorry.
It smells so nice.
It was so inviting.
So imagine we've got some flame grilled meat and veg and fish in our mouths. We're eating it. That's good.
Yeah.
That's really good, isn't it?
Nice.
So this isn't my first time trying this cocktail. You actually made it for us at Pub in the Park.
Do you know what? I thought the taste was familiar.
Yeah.
Do you remember? Because you came to the demo and then I came and found you. I ran across the park in Marlow with a shaker going, I've made a fresh one for you, because you watched the demo, and the irony is you couldn't get up on stage and taste it at the demo. And then oh damn, we need to try this. So I found you.
And it was superb. It was superb. But do you know what? The smokiness, the chilliness, the heat in there is
lovely.
beautiful.
It's a lovely heat.
It's not. No. People don't be frightened of
not
the heat.
burn.
It's not chilly burn.
Yeah.
It's just subtle.
Warmth.
It's integrated with the whiskey, which is beautiful. That's really good.
But that whiskey is a really good whiskey in there. It's got really good elements, really kind of earthy elements. Yeah.
Really nice.
That's lovely.
Now I have to say,
But I think this has really added to
I would be
it.
scared as a gin drinker and normally white spirit drinker to go for anything whiskey named. But this I'm really enjoying, and I enjoyed it when we first tried it when you made it for us in Pub in the Park. And I would say just open up your mind a little bit.
Yes.
I don't like. I didn't like whiskey when I was growing up because we were very limited what we had.
Yeah.
We had teachers and that was pretty much it, and bells, and things have come along so much more, and there's so much more available now, even in supermarkets.
I mean, I agree, because I would never normally drink whiskey, and since we went on this little test of whiskies, because we're looking at
and this is one of the first ones we tried.
One of the first ones. We realised what you like, a more peaty one, and I'm more delicate on my ones. It's actually really interesting. This is a great introduction for me to come back into whiskies.
Good.
I love the heat coming off this. I've just managed to lick a little bit of the side. Actually, this is a.
Oh yeah, no, that's a revelation.
If I had a barbecue going, when we release you, we might do a barbecue, and I would put that all over. That is lovely. This is so nice.
Chicken thighs or whole chicken spatchcocked. Also, if you didn't have honey, or if you were vegan, maple syrup. You could use that as a maple syrup with those.
Now with the flavours of this, I'm getting kind of flavours of when I used to go over to Ireland, because obviously Oscar's from Donegal, so we used to go over quite often. And the kind of peat and the wood fires that were over there, this is giving me those elements, and it's very hugging.
It's like a little hug in a glass. It's both warming and refreshing. Goes with food. You can have it also if you're the one, excuse me, tossing the burgers on the barbecue. Have that while you're getting covered in the barbecue smoke, and it's the perfect complement to the barbecue smoked clothes that you get when you're doing.
And you can use your syrup on the barbecue.
Exactly. Get the brush out.
Do you know what? For me, this is quite emotional because this is bringing back all the kind of warm family elements that I felt when I was first kind of like going over to Ireland, and this is beautiful. This is really, really beautiful. It's very, very emotional for me, and I think it's fantastic. I think it's a fantastic cocktail, and for me, so far, this is the best whiskey cocktail I've ever tasted. So there you go.
Well done.
First of many.
The first,
Let's make sure we do lots of
well
many.
done. Well done to you.
I'll come back in the winter months and maybe we'll do some sort of hot toddy.
I've got to say, the fact that it is whiskey in there, I would never, a year ago, I would never even tried it.
Yeah.
This is awesome. Love this. Like that whiskey. I love this syrup, which you're going to have to start making now by the bucket load.
Yeah, because he likes his food.
And the recipe's in the book, so it's
recipes in the book.
Win-win.
It's win-win. Thank you so much. Thank you for staying kind of captive for us.
Anytime. It's all right. If there's drink involved, I'm happy to be captain. There are worse.
You heard that? That's actually a legal disclaimer there.
Yeah, there you go.
There are worse rooms to be in. Trust me.
Don't forget, like and subscribe. Thank you ever so much for coming. Don't forget to check out this book, Home Bar. Amazing.
I love that book.
Andy's done this. He's already working on number 2. That's one typewriter set up over there. And
you dirty
so what a bit
birdie.
misery.
You dirty birdie.
And we'll see you in the next video.
They're going to be breaking my limbs next.
It all starts again. Cheers.
Cheers.